Oh, perfect.
Hello?
I can hear you. I don't know which one is talking.
Yes. Hi.
Good. Yeah. Lovemore here.
Hello. Good afternoon. Welcome to this session focusing on quality education in Africa. And today I'm privileged to have Mr. Lovemore Chanengeta.
Hi, Tshifhiwa. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
I'm good, man. How are you?
Thanks for having me, guys.
Thank you, Mr. M. Good day. How are you?
Good afternoon.
I can see you now all day.
Yeah, this is unusual to get blacks in innovation in education.
Yeah.
How is Limpopo, man?
Limpopo is getting warmer.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
So
that's good.
The heat is getting back. You know, this side of town is very hot.
Definitely. I know. I mean, COVID actually couldn't survive that side, eh?
Nah, never. Even in winter, it was very hard for COVID to survive here.
I know. Whenever I visit Limpopo, I mean, we don't even use any linen, eh?
Yeah.
But that's a nice place. Mr. M, I don't know if you can hear me. I see you confirmed there.
No, I can hear you loud and clear.
We cannot hear you, Mr. M.
You can't hear me. Hello? Can you hear me?
Can I do this now?
Can you hear me? Let me just check. I seem to, maybe there's a problem with my audio. Let me just check.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Audio.
Can you hear me?
All right. I think on my side all is okay. But
can you hear
still, I'm struggling to hear you. Tshifhiwa, can you hear Mr. M?
I can hear you.
Or did you lose him?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Mr. M, I'm battling. I cannot hear a word from your side.
Maybe just get out and come back. Hello?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you hear me? Tshifhiwa, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
All right. I can hear you loud and clear. And I think there's a problem with, let him come back. So good afternoon. I heard a lot about you.
Yes, I was reading your profile as well.
Okay, thank you. So we are looking at education.
Yes.
Looking at building community power around problems that we face.
Yeah.
So you already are in the FET area.
Yes.
So you have the Northern Technical FET College.
Yes, that's correct.
So maybe we can start with you just introducing who you are and your link with the FET College.
My name is Tshifhiwa Nthangeni. I am the managing member of the college.
All right. What?
Yeah.
Okay, Lovemore, can you hear us?
Yeah, now I can hear you, Mr. M. Now I'm back with full audio.
Okay, that's good. So we'd already started with
Tshifhiwa.
Tshifhiwa, yeah.
Yes.
And his relationship with the Northern Technical FET College.
Yes.
And he says he's the managing member. What does a managing member mean?
It simply means that I work with the directors. We are the decision makers of the college.
So you are a member of a CC, or it's a PTY, or it's a...
The PTY.
And you are the CEO, or...
Yeah, but I prefer to call myself a managing member so that I can now look like we are a team. Like whatever that we do here, we do as a team. So we are members.
All right, but have you ever seen an army with members without a general?
Yeah, never.
So you are the general.
I'm the general on the development, on the business development side, and then the operations.
On the operations, okay. So what inspired you to get into FET? Is it money or the needs or the problems?
Where we are, I think it. We never had the private colleges here, so we were the first one to start with the private college. We started as a computer training, then we saw a need for further education and training. Then that's what happened.
I like your choice of words. It's very instructive when you say we, and yet we live in the I. What inspired you to convert yourself to think of others in whatever you say?
Look, in this life, if you want to be seen as a dictator or as a general who just does everything, you never get a lot of things done. So here at the college, we are a team. Like everything we do, like we pride ourselves as like everything is a collaboration. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So that's good. And Lovemore, is he there? He's now on a mute. Okay. Good afternoon, sir. Thanks for coming.
I'm here, sir. I can hear.
Yeah, I got EduSyms. Is that correct? On the background.
Yes, that's correct. That's the correct answer.
Okay. What is your relationship with this animal?
I'm the founder of EduSyms, and I'm the current CEO of EduSyms.
All right. When you say current, are you planning a coup d'etat from somebody, or?
I'm planning to grow, and as we grow, probably I'll end up as the president of the organization.
All right, that's fine. So what inspired you to get into the education space?
What inspired me to get into the education space was the deficits actually in the education space, and the issue of us not being able to know what exactly learning is about, and the fact that we have the skill and the muscle to make sure that we can make education happen easy. I got inspiration in trying to impart knowledge by putting together the teachers and the students and the whole educational community together. So bringing together that educational community is what I can say inspired me into coming up with EduSyms.
Okay, where did the name come from?
The name EduSyms actually came from the word education, and Syms, we derived it from system. Now, as an advanced system, we realized that we could actually end up having quite a lot of systems, but in this case, we managed to converge something, which is what we now call EduSyms. So because of the plural of its functionality, hence we have to call it Syms in the end of the EduSyms name of it.
So how did the name come up? You just dreamt, or you were inspired by God? What was the link?
All right. Firstly, what I did my research in terms of trying to find a name that was quite relevant and at the same time that was unique for our users. As you know that the system is based online, I also needed a name that was good for search engine optimization. So I actually sat down with our team and we all scratched our heads and we ended up coming up with EduSyms, which is spelled as EDU, standing for education, and SYMS. So that now became one new word that it never existed before EduSyms was born. So it became a new word that we actually defined across the sphere.
All right, and let's talk to education. Either you're a teacher, a principal, or a headmaster, and you were outside the mainstream of the value chain. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yeah.
So what did you see in education? Was it kids or you feeling there is something that needed to be done differently?
What I really saw was that there was quite a lot of, I would say, red tape in terms of how processes are done around education. And also I realized that it's actually quite taxing for education to happen with our current approaches. So with the Internet of Things and the technology coming into place, I realized that these skills, they can actually enlighten the space of education and make the transfer of data from the data sources, which are the subject matter experts, up to the recipients, which are now the learners, quite easy in a seamless manner. So we thought about all the aspects that go around running an educational institution. At the same time, we envisioned an educational institution as a business. Now, when you envision education as a business, we are now talking of quality. So in terms of having this quality, we had now to come with a system that really caters for performance and planning management, meaning that your quality management systems can be embedded with this technology. As you are applying this technology to your day-to-day of offering education, you are actually able to satisfy your quality management system. So this is the whole motivation of EduSyms to where it is today.
And when you look at the family called EduSyms, how many people are involved now?
As we speak, currently all users and not in categories. I would say that is the parents, that is the teachers, that is the school managers and the learners. We have grown to a community of more than 60,000 people that are currently using EduSyms at the moment. And the infrastructure of EduSyms, it can actually cater for a wider community beyond what we currently offer. We are actually below even 0.25% of what we can actually cater for. So currently we are beyond 60,000 users across the divide.
But in terms of staff, employees, how big are you?
In terms of staff employees, we have, I would say, different departments. We have a department of support where we have first-line support agents who work in the call center. We have about 15 of them who work daily to assist schools and to onboard schools, giving support to all the schools that are using the system. And we also have a team of very strong developers, about 8 developers who work full-time on EduSyms. So in any case, from our clients, they will testify that we can make things happen in a click of your fingers because of the development muscle that is behind EduSyms. And we have managed to put together, again, people in leadership and in leadership roles that actually help the institutions that are using EduSyms and develop them in terms of the compliance issues are related. So those, they actually work as consultants. They are also part of the EduSyms family.
All right. And coming to Tshifhiwa, you started this company. Who inspired you to get involved in this platform?
We started 2011. Before then, my mother used to work at the FET.
Okay.
Yes, she was a receptionist there.
Okay.
So,
And then you went to school, and then what happened? What inspired you? What affected you to get hands-on?
I went to school. I studied IT.
Yeah.
Yeah, I studied IT. So when I came this side, we started with the computer training. We're doing computer training courses. Then we saw gap on the FET college because, like where we are in the Vembe region, we only have one FET college, which has a lot of students there. But when they're full, they don't have anywhere to go. So that's where we saw the gap. Then we started to venture into the FET.
All right. Then now you are in the FET.
Mm-hmm.
And are you SITA accredited?
Yes, we are.
Which SITAs are you accredited to?
Construction SITA, E-Water, MICT SITA, a lot of them. FPM SITA. We also have PCTO, Umalusi, and the Department of Higher Education as well.
All right. And then how did you know of Lovemore? What happened?
Yeah, I don't know if I can still remember. It's a long time ago. I was looking for a system. He was working for a college. Then my then provider referred me to him for some of because apparently he was doing some of the things other colleges were not doing on that system. So I wanted for some help. I met him. Then since then we get along so well.
So your two institutions have a relationship.
Yes.
So you are a client.
Yes, I'm a client.
And how do you rate the system on a scale of 1 to 10?
10.
10. Okay. Have you been bribed or captured?
Never. I can never be bribed.
We don't bribe.
I can never be bribed. Never.
All right. Okay. So you are getting value for money.
Yeah. No. In fact, we're getting value for money. We very much. This system is a revolution. It came at the right time when we needed it. With the pandemic going on, like we're unable to get the class going. But when we sign up with EduSyms, everyone is happy, from the parents, students, even the staff. My staff, I've got 6 administrators here. They're all happy with the system. My lectures, they're even working from home. They can do the marking. We are happy in a nutshell.
You are happy. Okay, so you are a happy client. Are you satisfied that the education sector in South Africa or in Africa in general is organized, structured, has got profile?
I'm not happy with I think a lot needs to be done in terms of curriculum and then the way things are at the department. But I believe that is just beyond our jurisdictions.
But if you look at your friends around you in Limpopo, are you surrounded by people who understand what you're doing, or they just think you are just another bloke chowing money from the sitters and Umalusi and PPE or the equivalent of PPE or Guptas in education?
No, they understand what is happening.
So they're supportive of you.
They are very much supportive.
Okay. Do you belong to any association of sitters?
Yes.
Of FETs, where you are building knowledge and communicating about what are the gaps, what is the promise, what are the challenges?
Yes, we are a member of APED. We have these meetings every now and then and workshops about the future of education and then what needs to be addressed.
All right. So when you look up the stars, it's
Mm-hmm.
midnight. Who do you look up to?
Can you repeat that one?
Who do you look up to?
Like inspiration.
No, in education, the things that you are doing, or you are the first time, your mother was a cashier, so you can't look up to her. She doesn't even understand.
No, she understands. I'm working with her. When I say we, I'm referring to her as the part of the team.
I'm saying is, but you are looking up to something. You know what they call marrying down or marrying up?
Yes.
Yeah, imagine you are looking at the stars and say, that one is a shining star. That's where I need to get to.
Yeah,
Who is that person? Or you are the first one looking up to yourself?
No, it's like it's institution. We would love to one day have an accreditation to be a private university. That's where we want to get to.
No, I'm saying is looking up to inspiration. I thought you were going to say I look up to Lovemore.
Yes.
But you are looking up to his system, not him. So there is no general. That's all. Okay.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah, no, I can hear you.
Okay, yeah.
Now, just provoking you to tell the African story at midnight. You know what they say when it's midnight all over the world? Africa, if you are asked in Africa, the majority of Africa is dark.
Yes.
There are no stars to look up to. So when you choose an industry to get into, you find there's no general, there's no pope. You are the first pope.
Mm.
And you are not inspired by anybody to follow the stars and say, that's where I want to go to.
Mm.
So Lovemore, who inspires you when you look up the sky, the stars, and it's midnight, dark?
Well, I would say necessity is the mother of invention. The need to have education happening is what really inspires me. If I look at the gaps that we have and the skills that we have that we can put together, and the number of people that are willing to drive this forward, that's what really drives me to say I can create more ways that can make it happen in a much better way. So I always look up to the people that are in need of what we can offer them, and that's where I draw my inspiration from.
You have heard this word called leadership. It
Yes.
has been abused, used for other people to escape responsibility.
Yes.
Who do you think is the leader in Africa on education systems, support, and innovation solutions? Do you see anyone that you can say? I was talking to Professor Mtambala, you had the conversation.
Yes.
He was a former deputy prime minister in Zimbabwe. And I was asking him the same question. Who do you look up to? If we are going to have a revolution, can we create a frog to be our leader? if there's nobody?
I'll tell you what I've picked up in this sphere where we are sitting now, is that it will be very difficult for education to improve if the management of information generated from conducting education is not improved. Hence, I feel that.
Yeah, now you're talking as a provider, as an infantry in the trenches. We are talking about the Roman Catholic Church. When you look at the church, is there a pope in the structure? Why would people who are equal want someone to be a prisoner in the Vatican?
Well, they're actually looking for an excuse, to their flaws. That's what I would say.
Okay, Tshifhiwa, have you ever seen an army fighting without a general?
No, but I just think we've got problem with the leadership. We need, I don't know if it's the drought or if I can use drought. It's a good word, but we're running short of people who inspire us, like people who are clean, integrity.
Yeah, I'm saying that you are the generals.
Yes.
But you can build structure around it. So that one of you or of us becomes that face of a leader, so that the industry has got structure and a voice. The country has one minister of education. But in the FETs, even the structure there does not produce somebody who can stand on his feet and represent those who are doing wonderful work to bring education to people who would otherwise not get it.
Yeah.
So you see, the need for structure and order, which was what I was talking about with Lovemore since Friday or Saturday, that is the same thing that brings you here. That without structure and order, whatever you are doing may not be sustainable. Because it requires financing, it requires infrastructure, it requires people to understand the education space. But structure and order allows a general. Lovemore, have you ever seen a general wearing or having a machine gun, automatic machine gun?
Yes. No, a general will never have a general will carry a pistol, will not carry the machine gun. You will never see the general's firearm.
You know why they carry a pistol?
Probably portability.
No, it's to shoot himself. when he has encouraged others to die before him.
Then he can shoot himself.
When the battle is lost, either you have a handkerchief or you have a pistol with one bullet at a time. So you are carrying your death pill because you failed to lead. That is a punishment of a bad general. So they'll protect you so that you kill yourself before the enemy comes in to do the job. So we don't have what Tshifhiwa is saying. We don't have generals of education.
Yes, that's correct.
We have ministers who are appointed by the president, but some of them are appointed without looking at this problem. of what you call generals. It doesn't mean the general is not a soldier. All it means is that he has fought other battles before fighting this one. Like a teacher is a student who learns before other students. But when a teacher stops learning, are you qualified to be a teacher? Right now, there's a revolution called Corona and COVID that is forcing everybody to relearn, to unlearn, and learn afresh.
Yeah.
But some are reluctant to learn. Some are still in the last century, talking about the teacher they knew, not the teacher of the present. So where shall wisdom and understanding of this profession be found, Lovemore, when you are sitting and you have the treasure in you and you behave as if you are not a general? So that is my quest. And Tshifhiwa, Lovemore has told you about C2C.
Yes, yes.
That we are trying to build a community around a problem. So today, how many are we? On this show, how many are we?
We are 3 people on the show.
So what is Jesus' quorum, Lovemore?
Jesus' quorum is Trinity.
No, Jesus' quorum is 2 or more.
2 or more.
But you can't, he can't be with you if you are one. So when you become 2 or more and you testify that you knew him, then you are a Christian, because he is not a Christian.
Yes.
So we already have a quorum to build this this community. And where shall we start? So, Lovemore, you already done your part. Whatever I told Tshifhiwa, it means you convinced him to give up time. And that's the first sign. So, Tshifhiwa, where do we start to build this temple of hope?
We start by building ourselves.
That's right. We start by integrating in terms of people. Imagine you take how many employees do you have?
I've got 72.
So we start with 72 C2C members. Is that correct, Lovemore?
Yes.
And those shall be known as Northern Technical FET.
Yes.
So we build a community, virtual community, to share ideas in this digital world. Then we add 72 plus how many, Lovemore?
Well, the whole community of EduSyms users is beyond 60,000 users at the moment. So
no, I'm saying is we start on expenses side, not revenue side.
Oh, okay.
So when you build something, it's the people you pay who you can cause to jump how high.
Yes.
The people who pay you are difficult, are your enemies.
Yeah, I know.
If they find a better system, they walk away.
Yes.
They don't have loyalty.
Mm.
But people you pay, they actually believe you are paying them. They don't know you are giving value to customers. so that they pay you. So you are not subsidizing. You are paid for value. And if there's no value, even Tshifhiwa will run away and change his number.
Yes.
No, that's true.
So we start there to say the guys who are on our side, let's build a community from those who are paid from the services we render.
So meaning
And
the
then,
25 employees of EduSyms are part of the community that is from the side that we pay.
that's right. You're already accelerating the voice.
Yes.
Then it means if we take 10 of us, we already have a community of providers on the supply side of education. Right now, we're not looking at the demand side. We are looking at the soldiers who are on the supply value chain. That's how I started the bank. I said, if our employees get a salary, put it in Standard Bank or another bank, then what is so standard about surrendering your value to somebody else? So, Tshifhiwa, are you willing to be part of that initiative?
Yes, I am. I'm willing. I'm all about progress and progressive people. So yes.
Then Laurie Kureb says, in Africa, you are bribed to get a service which is supposed to be free to everyone. That's Laurie's comment. But it's human nature to get something even for nothing. It's not just an African problem. Okay, maybe so far, Lovemore, any comment? We have 20 minutes to go. Tshifhiwa, any questions?
Yes. Where do we start from here?
We have already started. The first thing was for you to agree to be part of this. The second thing is for you to see problems being solved by communities coming together.
Yes.
That you are working hard, but when you pay out your employees, you know where the money goes to. Without your knowledge, it goes to brick and mortar, to housing, health, transport, logistics, transportation. So we're all connected. Some of it goes to airtime. But if we know where our money is going, surely we can reduce the cost with this digital technology that you guys are working on. Why should we pay more for airtime when we can pay less? And why should your employees stand in a queue when they can jump the queue? Do you see the benefits of coming together?
Okay, I'm back now.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so volume matters. It's not how smart you are or how black you are. It's volume. So that is the other side of it. And bright, yeah, it's as you say, Sam, is it? How do you spell it?
We pronounce it as EduSyms. Sims from system. Yes, EduSyms.
Yeah, EduSyms are bright. That's where it comes from. So, any other comment?
I think I want to say thank you so much, Mr. M, for enlightening us on this one. What I've actually picked up is that from the inception of EduSyms, we have managed to put a footprint in, I would say, most of the Southern African region countries. And with that, I actually realized that I was making myself a general unintentionally, because from the footprint that we have in South Africa, Namibia, Botswana, in Zimbabwe with our system, it has also managed to put us in a position whereby we now fully understand the challenges that are faced with our communities in as far as education is concerned. So I feel that when you ask that question to say, who should we look up to? And I think EduSyms at the moment would be the right place where we could look up to in terms of how we can advance education in our communities.
All right, that's good. At least you are accepting to be the leader where there's a vacuum.
Yes.
And some other people want other people to be generals, and they are generals. But do you understand that when you become a general, you become a prisoner?
Yes, fully. I understand that.
And Tshifhiwa, you know what happened this morning? Tshifhiwa, you know what happened this morning?
No.
I shared my conversation with Lovemore, with somebody in
Okay.
education. And you know what his response was? I want to talk to Lovemore. Then I told him, you don't go to Rome to confess. Why do you need to talk to Lovemore? If Lovemore is a general, you don't talk to the general, do you? So the general is hidden from the public.
Yes.
But imagine I go to Rome and I confess to the Pope. You know what happens the next day, the next minute? All the people who want to confess to the Pope. Imagine your meat and flies are coming to eat you, to make you rotten. Then you take one fly and say, this is my favorite fly. What would happen? You get rotten quickly.
No, that's true.
So when you are a leader, it means you are no longer personal. You can't take questions every day because people want to tire you. I want to be like you. You say, but I never had someone to be like me. I just plowed on and made mistakes, but I kept going. How many people think they want to be like Lovemore? Well, they want to bankrupt him. You know how best to bankrupt a lawyer is to go and eat pap in his office while he's supposed to attend clients.
Yes.
So the general will not be speaking about strategic issues. He will now be talking about tactical issues. So the guy is not happy, but I sent him the link for him to follow if he is following. But he says, Mawere, why are you preventing me from meeting with Lovemore? I said, you have not asked me why I shared with you. Because if only you had asked me, I was just sharing with you so that you don't talk to him. You will be provoked to be organized. But unfortunately, that is not the feeling. That I want to talk to anyone who is doing things. So, Tshifhiwa and Lovemore, you have already started. Now there are three of us. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Talking about education. So the Jesus of education, you know where he is? He is with us. Because we are two or more. So if we agree to do something and we do it, then it means nothing can stop the fourth person from saying, I want to be like those three.
Yes.
So is that understandable or it's too parabolic?
It's quite understandable. It's quite clear cut.
Tshifhiwa, is it clear?
Yeah.
So can we? How many
Yeah, it's
people
clear.
do you know?
Crystal clear.
How many people, Tshifhiwa, do you know who are in FET colleges?
In FET colleges?
Yeah, who have FET, who are operators.
Oh, you mean the students or the FETs?
The FETs.
Oh, the FETs. I know plenty.
What is plenty for a black man?
Around 10.
Okay, so 10.
Yeah.
All right. And how many are service providers to sitters?
Almost all of them. I'm referring to the private colleges.
Yeah. So if we look at our teachers and look at the sitters right now, are you satisfied as a taxpayer that the sitters are providing the role that you would want them to play?
No, I'm not satisfied. Because
are sitters transactional or transformational?
I got cut there. Say that again.
I'm saying, are sitters transactional or they are transformational?
And I think that they're not transformational. They are not.
So they just say it's like toothpaste. They give you a tender, you win a tender, and then you can't even grow because you don't know after 5 years what you are going to be doing. Is that even now under COVID, nobody knows what is going on.
Yeah.
And the days of brick and mortar are gone. But the providers are still looking to chow money on subsistence and travel.
And accommodation bookings.
And accommodation. And yet now there's social distancing. So if you had a room that carried 100 people, it's like churches. You know how many people now? You are limited to 50. Is that correct?
Yes. Yeah, limited to 50.
And yet you have built the best church in town. Like carrying 10,000, and you look at it and say 50 guys. What do I do?
Yeah, the whole auditorium with only 50 people.
Yeah, the whole place 50. And if you're a general, what do you do?
You shoot yourself.
You shoot yourself. Take that pistol from the source and you just. But Mr. M, have you ever heard about the 4 chaplains?
No, okay, tell me.
Okay, so I think there are different types of generals here. Some they don't have to shoot themselves; they sacrifice themselves. You understand? They'll go in a sacrificial manner, which might not need a pistol. So they actually get honored, especially when they more like sacrifice themselves and let nature take its course. Under those circumstances, they normally go in a dignified manner. So if you are a general, you need to be able to identify now that point where you can go in a dignified manner after serving your people. Hence, I say in this case, I'm proudly appointing myself as a general of education in Africa. I'm taking up the challenge, seeing that I've actually walked across quite a lot of systems, and I've challenged them, and I still challenge them today to say, bring it on. EduSyms is there to stand, and we will make a difference, and we will dazzle you.
But just imagine, you are the general. Are you aware that food is education?
Yes.
Who is the general food for education? Who is the general of logistics for education, transporting people? The cargo is human beings.
Yes.
Who is the general? Then who is the general for the old textbooks, which are redundant and obsolete? There are many people who were chowing money out of printing books. Now can you imagine? Can you imagine what is happening now?
Yes, yes. It's the shift. There is the revolution now that we now all need
So
to change.
you are talking of a revolution, but you are killing many people who don't have your skills. Now if they had sangomas or they which doctors, they will finish you first and say, this young man, what does he think he is? So there's a lot that is happening, Lovemore. Yeah. So when we think of a general, we are saying you are a general of ecosystem, uniforms. Even the boots for soldiers. Imagine you go to battle without boots, and you are only good at IT. So what kind of general do you want who is going to inspire this church to lose money after speaking? You may discover that it's not a job for anybody. It's just a simple. Would you want a president who thinks? Lovemore, would you want a president who thinks?
Well, it's very tricky to have a president who thinks. it's very, very tricky, you know.
Because
in my preference, I would want a president who's very good at reading speeches.
No, I don't even want, if there are 4 of us and we are doing wonderful things, imagine if I take Tshifhiwa, who is going to be the managing member of Northern? Yeah? If I take you away from EduSyms and you become president of this bullshit lobbying, who is going to be at EduSyms?
Yeah, I hear you. There'll be a very big gap in the meantime.
Yeah. So if I take all of you to leave what you are doing already, who is going to be doing that work that you are doing?
Tough one.
Yeah?
That's a tough one.
So would you still want to be a president? Lovemore, would you still want to be a president?
In my case, I've had different experiences in how these presidents operate. I feel that it's not cut for me. I'll be a president of EduSyms. I'm fine with that. I can carry those shoes, but of a country.
But you need now know the president of this whole quest for excellence. That person cannot be an operator.
Yes.
Once he becomes an operator, then it means we are giving up to create a position of handkerchiefs. When it's hot, like in Limpopo, what do you use the handkerchief for?
Oh dear.
So these are PR jobs.
Yeah.
They are not operational jobs. Never put an operator to a PR job.
Yeah, that's correct, sir.
So I think we have taken in, I don't know whether I found it useful.
Say that again.
In closing, have you found this 1 hour useful, beneficial, or useless?
No, it was useful. It was an eye opener. It was food for thought. So now I have things to think about. Going further about what we're talking about here.
So, and Lovemore?
Well, it was quite eye-opening, and I would say it made me take up my task and put on the hat. I've realized that I am the general out of this conversation. It has given me that confidence. And thank you for that, Mr. M.
Okay, thank you. So what we are planning to do, if you are watching, you are listening, and if you get time to watch and share, is really to provoke building community power, not individual power, where any one of us can be president of the community without giving up the valuable work that members of the community are doing. How many of us want to be president without understanding what a president is? How many of us want to be generals without understanding what a general is? How many of us know that you can't be a general without fighters in the field? What would they be fighting for if they perish in the trench, invoicing this, invoicing that, SLA agreement here, SLA agreement there? How many students, some manufacture students who don't exist, but on paper, somebody's billed to pay for students that don't exist. So when you have change like this change we are going through, where is the address where great minds are thinking how to respond to Corona, how to respond to COVID as providers of education? Where is that address? Who is there? And what are they saying? If you look in the media today, it's full of corruption around PPEs. But the doctors, the provider, the nurses, they never come to the front page of a paper. They never trained. So those who are providing education support solutions never come in the forefront. But their future is being negotiated by people you don't know. You may find that your solution is overtaken by those who have access. And you find standardization. I got a friend who wanted to introduce an online version of the justice system, only to find it's taken by a British company. And all that time, all that thinking collapsed like a house of cards. How do we protect capacity? How do we promote it so that those who don't know or doubt it can actually know that it exists? How do we build a new Africa when we invest in darkness? So those are the challenges. I say, Lovemore, let's keep on every day. Let's keep on improving so that we have Northern today. Tomorrow we have Southern, technical, FET. And then let's get the 10 that were threatened by Tshifhiwa. Because there are many people who threaten that they are generals, but nobody follows them. So whatever you do, if you are a general, it means some people have faith in you. That Lovemore, you are a general already, because even Tshifhiwa is confident that you can, together, you guys can go far. Once he's got your system installed, it becomes his. Once you buy a BMW car, whose is it? It's not BMW
It's
anymore.
yours.
It's your car. And you can invoice without him knowing. All you have to pay is a toll gate fee. And how many people don't know that? That I focus on what I'm good at, and others focus on what they're good at. But through training, through support, we can get where we need to get to. So thank you very much for your time, and let's keep on the conversation so that together we can get a better understanding, a shared understanding of how to put ourselves into a pyramid so that others maybe at the bottom, but they see further because we are standing on each other's shoulders. And if we have 3 people, and vertically, they are very tall, but each one does not increase his height. But through order and structure, it means 3 people. The person on the top can see further than the 2, than the first one. How many of us are standing alone with our 2 eyes, 2 ears, and think the world has legs to come to my ears? Yet the world keeps on moving without me. So when we organize ourselves, it means we can see further. We can do things differently, because it just takes few generals to be angry at themselves. But this I can do. This I can do. And the question is, why tomorrow instead of today? So we hope that by tomorrow we have the 10 people. And you know how we test Tshifhiwa whether he's a leader? Lovemore, you know how we test him?
Yes. How do we test him?
We test him by giving him the link like you gave him. Because if you gave him a link and he didn't come, who was going to be embarrassed?
I was going to be embarrassed.
So we are going to ask Tshifhiwa to send a link to 10 people and see how many turn out. Until we increase the number. So the video, I'll send you the video, send to your mother, to your employees, Tshifhiwa. And those who don't come back, to you, what do? You know that they are not, you know that they are generals as well. Because the general will say, why should I jump? A soldier says, if I say jump to a soldier, what do?
How high?
Jump.
How high? So if I say, go and listen to this audio, give me your comments by tomorrow morning in writing. If I don't get the comments, I know you are a general. Because the person is saying, why are you asking me to listen to this nonsense? Is that okay, Lovemore? That's how you test your power before you die. Because the people who are closest to you don't like you.
Yes.
Because they think you are wasting time. You are wasting money on idiots. But they don't know, if you don't spend money, you won't get money.
True.
True.
Yeah. So thank you very much. So I'll send you the link, Lovemore, and Tshifhiwa.
Thank you so much, Mr. M.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you for wisdom.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.